Jack Nicklaus once said that the first couple of inches of your golf swing is the most important. The takeaway in the golf swing definitely can dictate what you do in the rest of your swing. Lots of golfers coming on the inside are lifting up the arms, coming over the top. Lots of golfers moving the hands away, might struggle with shanks, might then lay the club off. Lots of different things can start to happen in that first couple of inches of your golf swing. We can set ourselves up for success, or we can make the rest of the golf swing much more difficult. So today we're going to go through 3 easy, super simple steps that are going to perfect your initial takeaway in your golf swing and make life so much easier for you. So first of all, here's a few things that we don't want to do in the takeaway. These are things that we see in lessons. So number 1, we don't want the club head to excessively move behind the hands. That's going to make life difficult. You're either going to turn and be really, really deep, or lift the arms up excessively. So we don't want that to happen. We don't want to change posture too much. Some golfers who might shank the ball, drop down, lift up. We also don't want to rotate the wrists too much. A lot of golfers who slice the ball can get that club face excessively open in that first piece of the golf swing. Again, we don't want that to happen. Quite a common fault, we see that quite often. Too much forearm rotation at the start of the swing. Another common error that we don't want to happen is too much hip turn. So by using the hips too early, that drags the club really far on the inside. So those are the sort of 4 key things that we don't want to do. So we're going to cover all of those things, 3 simple steps. So number 1, we need to make sure that the body is what triggers the start of the swing. So when we take the club away, it is not a hands and wrist rotation. That's going to open up the club face. That's going to move the club in. We don't want the hips to turn too quickly. Again, that's going to move that club head inwards. So what I want you to think about is keeping, so when we start with a nice Y shape. The arms are fairly long, the club creates a Y shape, and we want to maintain that Y shape, and a lot of the best golfers in the world are really good at maintaining this Y. That does a lot of things for you. If you can keep that Y shape, you're going to keep the club head in front of the hands. You're going to stop it opening up. You're also going to stop this. A lot of golfers really bend that arm and start to collapse really, really quickly. So keep the Y shape. The chest and the upper body turn away, and there's a sort of shift into the right side. You don't have to turn too quickly. We are just going to keep that Y shape. Start turning the chest, the rib cage, and we've not really moved much there, but we've got that club head in front of the hands. And that's a really key one to do. So keep the Y shape, back to the ball, keep the Y shape, clubs in front of the hands. That's really going to help us get in that position. One of the drills that I really like to do in order to get that Y shape is place your golf ball down, place another one just behind the golf club, and just pay attention to where that golf ball travels. So when we take the club away, we are going to try and push that golf ball straight back. We don't want to push it out. That's the hands and the club head traveling too far out. And we definitely don't want to roll it way on the inside. By doing this drill, this will give us a really good idea of where the club head is traveling when we take that club away. So again, keep the Y shape, golf ball goes straight back. Nice and simple. We can see where the golf ball's gone. This is something you can do on the range when you're hitting some balls, and it's just a really simple drill to keep that club head in front of the hands. Step 2 in the takeaway is we want the club face to be parallel with the spine angle. The most common error that we see is that the face gets really open at this point. The toe points up to the sky, the sweet spot and the loft point up to the sky. And what you'll quite often find in that scenario is if someone's done that, their wrists have rotated and the right palm is either on the side of the grip or it's underneath the grip. That's what you quite often see. So what we want to do is keep the Y shape, but once we get to the takeaway, the palm is slightly on top of the grip and the left wrist is fairly flat. It's not excessively flexed, which would close the face and pull the club head in, and it's also not excessively cupped, and we can't see this badge. The right palm is slightly on top, the right wrist has some amount of bend back, the club face is parallel with the spine, and that gets us in a really good position. So again, practice that, pay attention to your wrist angles, keep the Y, right hand slightly on top, left wrist nice and flat. So the next thing I want you to think about in the takeaway is to try and go low and hands in. And what I mean by low, that will help you get that Y shape. So keep the hands low, allow the hands to move over the right shoe, and that also helps you get the proper body movement. So we go low, slow. The club head's in front of the hands. We've also got a stick down. I think practicing with a stick down for your takeaway is really, really important. So what you can try and do with the stick, you can try and have hands in, club out. Low and slow. A few different cues that you can have for that takeaway. Low and slow, hands in, club out. And again, not too much hip rotation. The hip rotation kicks in the second part of the backswing. So you're just trying to get club head in front of the hands and the club face in a really good position. And that can definitely get your takeaway in a good position. So a few things that we want to try and do there. Club head outside the hands. Club face matches the spine angle. Couple of drills that are really good. Brush the ball away, try and keep it nice and straight. Stick down, club down, hands in, club out. And that really sets you up for success. Really sets you up to stay on plane throughout the swing, keep a good club face position, and ultimately start to play better golf. So give those things a try. Comment down below what you struggle with in your takeaway. Is your club face open? Are you coming on the inside? And if it's not your takeaway, comment down below what you would like to see on the channel, what you're struggling with, and we'll get some videos out to help you with your golf. If you'd like any extra help with your takeaway and you're looking for some drills that you can try, make sure you check out this video just here.